Hi, John.
Hey, Alex.
Do you know what I hate?
What's that?
I mean, abso-fucking-lutely nothing about Dr. Mordrid. I love this movie so... I mean, every single thing about this movie is great. I love Jeffrey Combs. I love the set design. I love the way the magic works. I love the villain. I love absolutely everything. I mean, it's so good. I love that there's no clowns. I love that there's no giant cloaks. Oh, sorry. My therapist, he actually diagnosed me with PTSD. That's a post-traumatic spawn disorder. Everything's wonderful now. Yeah, so we're going to talk about Dr. Mordrid for an hour.
Somehow.
Misty mountain forests above the castle in the air is a magician in the mountain who lives through life without care.
Man, this movie's kind of good. And then I had the thought of like, no, I think Spawn broke me.
Well, this movie's interesting because I did have that same kind of opinion about it in that it is a Full Moon Features. Full Moon releasing put this out. They're behind Puppet Master.
Oh, yeah.
Behind, they just make the schlockiest stuff.
We used to watch the Oblivion movies in high school.
Oh, yeah. Or Subspecies was one that I watched a lot.
Oh, yeah, I saw those too. Yeah.
So there's a certain amount of, you're kind of taking this all with a grain of salt. You kind of know what you're getting into. But for one of those movies, this isn't bad. Also, I think because it's extremely low budget, I found myself kind of pulling for this movie in ways that I shouldn't.
I had that same thought.
Where you're just like, oh, look at what you're trying to do here. That's cool.
Because I think they did this movie did a great job for how much it cost. I don't know how much it cost, but you can it looks as good as it could. It's fine.
It's got immense problems in terms of with any of these low budget movies. Nothing happens until the very end because that's where they spend their money on this big final thing. And I mean, it's bad in a lot of different ways, but I still found myself kind of enjoying it.
Yeah, the rooting for it is exactly what I was going with. But here's what my thought is. Jeffrey Combs. Mm-hmm. He's fucking sexy in this.
Oh yeah, he's a handsome guy.
He's always I know him mostly from Star Trek. Mm-hmm. And, I've seen him in everything else because he's been in literally everything. But I think this is the first time, he's about, I don't know, 5 years out of his prime in this movie. So he's still not, he looks nice. He's got he's got, most of his hair. He's got a great jawline. Damn, he's got sexy going on in this movie. He pulls it off. When he's talking to that lady, it's damn.
Well, it also helped he was wearing a gold bathrobe.
That helps too. Yeah.
But I did think during this movie that I would love to see a buddy cop movie with him and Bruce Campbell, at their prime.
Here's the other thing it's so delightful about this. One, the jaunty opening music is delightful, and then so the main his I don't know, spirit god is
the Monitor.
The Monitor, yeah, is which is weird because that's a DC villain.
That's a DC villain, and this whole thing was going to be
based on a Marvel.
Yeah, this thing was going to be
superhero.
Doctor Strange, but they lost the rights to it, and also directed by a father-son team. I almost said father-husband, which doesn't make any sense. Yeah, Charles Band, and Albert Band.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Monitor shows up in the beginning there, and then they show. Jeffrey Combs and Dr. Mordrid's. I'm going to call him Dr. Strange. I keep having to look at the screen to know the title of the movie. And I just laughed that he even has the fake eye of Agamotto or the fuck that thing is.
Yeah.
It is exact.
That's the thing Doctor Strange uses. He has his store brand version of that.
It is so funny how they did nothing to change.
They did just enough.
Yeah, it's you couldn't be sued for this. Uh-huh. But I mean the character looks insane. I'm surprised he doesn't have a goatee.
Yep.
That's a little weird.
That was probably a huge thing when they went look, we can get so much further, get away with so much more if he doesn't have a goatee.
Yeah. But boy, that Eye of Agamotto, and that's probably not how you say it or the name of it, but I just laughed when that was. Yeah, I just laughed when that showed up. I'm holy fuck, this literally was they didn't bother. They wrote the script. It's amazing though in 1990 to compare movies then to now. Mm-hmm. Not even just low budget movies then, where now this movie made now would have so much CGI. And,
absolutely, yeah. I think that's part of why I was so excited.
Yeah, but 1990, this company had rights, or not this company, but this movie was a Doctor Strange movie, so that's how low Marvel was.
Yeah, do you remember the Dolph Lundgren Punisher?
Yeah.
Which someone suggested we should watch that, but they were just giving stuff away. They were whatever, we're in. Rob Liefeld has spent all their money.
Yeah,
because I don't know what the deal was, but
they sold. This is during the time where they sold off Spider-Man movie rights and X-Men movie rights and all that stuff, and maybe not exactly 1-to-1 time, but it's just crazy that something that, like, so if this was a Doctor Strange movie, the budget would be about the same, maybe a little bit more,
Yeah.
because that's how low Marvel was. It's fucking insane now that, like, Disney, like, since I started that sentence, Disney made $30 trillion.
Yeah, it's great.
No, but John, you ever see that Baby Yoda?
No.
The Baby Yoda. Here's the problem. No, so, okay, look, guys, we're going to have to talk about this a little bit. This movie's an hour 14.
Yeah.
We're not going to do an hour on it. There's going to be some sides here. And I've wanted to talk to John about the Mandalorian for a while, and this will be short. If you can turn off your hate of the cult of Baby Yoda, I honestly think you'll like this show.
Yeah.
Because it's done really
it's
well.
It's not the cult of it. It's the Baby Yoda itself I don't like.
But if you watch the show, I think you'll enjoy it. Because there's some Baby Yoda stuff that I guarantee you won't.
Yeah.
But there's some episodes I'm like, that seems like exactly something John would
Yeah,
enjoy
I mean,
the shit out of.
I've heard that it's very kind of pulpy and whatever.
It's a
but-
pulp western.
Yeah.
Like it's super fun, and the Baby Yoda stuff doesn't really show. He basically just shows up every now and again. I mean, spoiler alert here, but like he'll use the Force or blah blah. Like
Sure.
it's
when it's convenient.
no, I mean I think it actually makes sense as I'm sure it's just a MacGuffin, but like it makes sense that like that's why people are super interested in him. It's not I mean, it is when it's convenient, but in a useful way.
Sure.
Like, because if it was just like some shitty baby, it would the entire world wouldn't just be like, oh no, baby Bib Fortuna, like no one's gonna be going
I
after.
think that would be rad though. A guy has to save like the shittiest baby. He's like, "Meh, I'm a baby."
in Star Wars Rebels.
Meh.
You know that you ever see in the Star Wars? I forget which one it is. That I think it might be episode 4. The guy that looks like a flatworm. He's got like an S head.
No idea.
It's like an S. It's a brown S-shaped head, and he's got like a mouth here and 2 eyes there.
Oh yeah, the hammerhead guy.
Yeah.
I used to know his name.
There's a baby one of those in one of them, and it's awful. But
Yeah.
anyway, so I think you should watch The Mandalorian if you can like just ignore the Baby Yoda stuff, because man, that show is so good. Except Baby Yoda, you might as well just call him like the fucking Maltese Falcon. Like there's no, it's just kind of sits there. Anyway, so back to Dr. Mordrid. It's Raven.
Is named Edgar Allan.
That's great.
I don't know if you got the reference.
No.
It was for a book called That Bird by a guy named Edgar Allan.
Oh, I thought it was referencing that Simpsons episode.
Yeah, that was based on that book.
Yeah. Oh wait, no, this is 1990. I can't even make that joke.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, quoth the Alex, look at me with egg on my face.
That's true. You do say
I don't know what that voice was, but I
was
liked
good,
it a
though.
lot.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know
on
what just
board.
happened to me.
Yes.
Why did the 80s always have like blonde villains that look like they weren't finished cooking? So they don't understand
It was sexy at the time to look like a pirate.
like no, I just mean like his face looks like his face looks like
Yeah.
it was molded and wasn't cooked for long.
Well, yeah,
enough.
the actor Brian Thompson, I believe is his name. He's most known as being like this alien presence on X-Files and has been a character actor in a bunch of different stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. He kind of looks like a misbaked Arnold Schwarzenegger a little bit.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Like they tried to clone on Geonosis. They tried to clone. That's not where the clone factor is. Maybe it is. Who cares?
Yeah, I think it is.
They tried to clone Arnold Schwarzenegger, and that came out. They're like, I mean, I guess technically
It's fine.
It's not
He's
spec,
Yeah,
but
he's
it's
4:30 on Friday. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. He's like, what were those cars that used to explode if you looked at them wrong?
Pinto.
Yeah, he's like the Pinto version
Yeah.
of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah, he's what he is? He's Rainier Wolfcastle.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he should play Rainier. If he can do a German accent, he should be Rainier Wolfcastle.
All right, sorry, I don't know what happens in this movie. You were going to start
So,
talking.
well, he's the villain. The Death's Head, or I believe is how Jeffrey Combs refers to him at the beginning. And the beginning, like, tells you everything you need to know about what the plot is, and that it's Jeffrey Combs in space talking to this pair of eyes in space.
Yeah.
That he calls the Monitor. The Monitor's like, "Hey, the Death Head's getting out. It's probably gonna get you. You're like a big sorcerer. You should do something about it." He's like, "All right, will do."
Okay, so there's 2 things that were amazing at the end of the movie, and I'm only going to spoil one for now because the other one we have to save to the end.
Yes.
You say that it tells you everything you need to know about this movie, but I'm thinking since this is a Doctor Strange riff-off, they're on some ethereal plane. They're
Right.
in another dimension. No, I think they're aliens, right? Because they say they're on another planet later.
Yeah, there's a lot of like swapping out of like planes, dimensions, planets. Like I feel like that.
So they're
gets all
Highlander
mixed.
2ing this thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Because I mean, they grew up together. They were, the best wizard in the universe just happens to be his buddy.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm just telling you in terms of like setting the
Oh, no,
plot in
no,
motion
you're
and like
right.
giving
Yeah.
the idea like, oh, this guy's a big wizard, and they only kind of later give you a clue about how he studied for it or whatever. Which I was okay with, sort of being dropped in like in medias res with that, where you're just like, yeah, hey, he's a wizard. Okay.
Oh yeah, I like the way it began. It's not a critique that they didn't describe it. It was
Yeah.
just it was like, I don't know, just kind of out of left field where it being a Doctor Strange thing, it's like, why would you bring like aliens into it? Like, it's
Yeah.
just strange that they didn't say I was born in another dimension or something. Like, it was just a weird, like,
Well, there's a lot of the other dimension stuff that doesn't work.
no, I think
but,
everything makes complete sense.
But so then it cuts to Rio de Janeiro.
Oh, wait, how did you know, John?
There was the one stock footage shot that they use in everything.
Of the giant Jesus.
The giant Jesus.
I thought that was that giant Jesus in Cleveland.
Yeah, the Cleveland Jesus.
Yeah. No, the one in Bethesda. No, I think it was the one in Tampa. No, pretty sure it was Rio de Janeiro.
That's why they had to put it at the bottom, so you weren't confused. And so it's these guys in a set that's a truck, like just clearly being shaken around. It made me very happy. One guy shoots the other one, pulls the truck over. And
Which
starts,
actually, I kind of like that.
starts slowly unloading whatever was in the back, and the movie takes a fair amount of time
Wait,
watching him slowly unload
Those
things
boxes
in
are
the back. The boxes that are completely wooden but spray painted silver.
It's silver spray paint.
Yep.
You could see where the spray paint wasn't well cut. It was beautiful.
It made me very happy.
I haven't watched a low budget movie in a while, so a lot of this was like really charming to me.
And so it's he's doing that, and the movie takes a long time with him unloading these boxes, and then it goes into slow mo of him putting down a box, standing up and watching a Jeep approach. This isn't a very exciting shot. It's just a guy standing there, slow motion Jeep showing up, and that's our villain Cabal.
Yeah, Ursat's Brian Bosworth.
Yeah, exactly. He's Brian Bosworth wearing a pirate shirt.
Yeah, and the weirdest sunglasses.
Yeah,
He's
with the
got,
very Brian Bosworth sunglasses.
He's
Though.
got-
Kind
it's-
of weird wraparound.
It's kind of like Brett Hitman Hart sunglasses, but like also you got your eyes dilated. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like they were blue blockers before blue blockers.
Yeah.
He gets before he gets out, and this is the thing I love the most about this character. This character is an evil alchemist, and he has this briefcase thing that, like, if a hitman had
loved it.
you'd open it up and it'd have like pieces of a sniper rifle in foam or whatever. This is all different potions
Expertly cut out areas for potions. to come in.
and it just I love that.
So, and this is, I was going to text you, but I wanted to save it for the show because not that I'm predicting your thoughts, but when Fabio the Sorcerer sent the money to be with the Sorcerer's Stone, what was your thought?
Well, my thought was at first that like he just dumped out a bunch of turkey gravy around it.
Okay, yeah.
and that was
Sec-
enough to
second
be
thought.
magic. Something about Harry Potter. I
Yes,
don't-
in my head
yeah.
was you shuddering, going, "Oh, I'm going to have to deal with him making so many fucking Harry Potter references."
Oh, that's how I go into every movie. I just press play and I'm like, here we go.
I mean, it's true. I mean, we could watch Schindler's List, and at some point, I'm gonna bring up
This reminds me of the Death
Grindelwald.
Eaters.
Yeah.
This was exactly the same thing that happened.
Yeah. You know, if Hitler's Grindelwald, that means that Durmstrang is like Auschwitz. Oh, I think I just figured something out. Quick, to the Pottermore forums. But I just Fabio Sorcerer. I forget his name. I'm gonna call him everything. Sorry.
It's Cabal.
Cabal. Yeah, no, it isn't.
It is Cabal.
You know, Cabal is just to make this movie a little deeper. You know who Cabal is?
The guy he's in Mortal Kombat 2 or 3, and he has like a mask and he's got those kind of like weird swords.
He's the son of Scott Summers from the future that was sent back. Oh, that's Cable.
Yeah.
No, but I know I was going to make an actual smart point. Cabal is the Tempest, the Shakespeare play. Is a bad guy on the island. The good guy on the island is the good sorcerers based on John Dee. Well, I can't think of his name right now. But
Dr. Mordrid.
Dr. Mordrid. No, but anyway, but Cabal being an evil kind of thing against a wizard is. Look, I'm not trying to like fucking reach too far here. I'm just saying for a movie of this kind, I bet you they didn't know that and just thought Cabal was a cool bad guy name. But they
both things are not wrong.
They stumbled on a good kind of
Yeah.
metaphor or simile or semaphore.
Yeah.
Break out the flags.
But yeah, so he steals whatever was in there. I forget if that was the diamonds or the radioactive stuff or.
No, radioactive comes later. I think I think that was diamond.
Yeah, so Cabal is going around stealing a bunch of stuff.
No, that was something else. There's something. Diamonds is when the gutter punk metal guys help him steal diamonds.
That's what it was, yeah.
And then I think plutonium gets stolen off camera. So I think the first one may have been silver.
Yes, they was silver.
Yeah.
But so he gets the spirits away, whatever that was in the box is silver, and then makes the dude that did it kill himself.
Which was cool for this movie.
Yeah, I was surprised they went there right away.
Yeah. And also in 1990 style, we're like, we can't afford the special effect of him actually shooting himself, so we'll just do it off screen?
Yeah, we're just going to like use
off-screen.
use the gunshot as the cut.
Yeah.
So Jeffrey Combs, you see his home where his
Wait, no,
lair
that's not. I mean, okay, wait. Yes, sorry.
Well, it's the Sanctum Sanctorum,
Yes.
but this
I wanted to
doctor-
cut to his speech, but I forgot. We do go to his house first.
Yeah, this doctor has tenants, including some hilariously
David?
old people. No, people that live
David
there.
Tennant?
No,
He played the
no.
doctor.
Yes, I'm well aware.
Yeah.
Dr. Mordrid could kick his ass, by the way. I'm just going to put that out there. But no, he
probably.
has a bunch of hilarious tenants.
Yeah.
They're old people that yell at each other.
That was a very 80s. I know this is 90, but like that's a very 80s thing of having like wacky New York tenants.
Yeah. Like, I like to take my dog out, and this
Yeah.
lady's yelling at me.
It reminds me, it's like batteries not included, but not charming.
Right, yeah. Yeah. It's like if a racist made batteries
Yeah.
not included.
And then, so our lead lady shows up, whose name is,
Yvonne Napier
that's
is
the one.
the actress.
Oh,
I don't think
I-
I said the last name right, but
I bet the character name. I don't know who anybody's name is other than Dr. Mordrid, and that I have to look at my screen.
Samantha.
Samantha, of course. I'm going to say at least 10 times better an actress than you would expect in a movie like this. She actually brings a little subtlety to it. Like,
yeah, okay.
I'm not saying...
in places. I think there's
Yeah.
sometimes where it's like just it requires her to go like, oh my,
Yeah,
you know.
I'm
but-
not saying she's should be nominated or anything, but because I've watched a lot of it, because Full Moon was one of those things that I didn't put it together until today at work. I was texting with one of my friends about this, and he's like, "Oh, I love Full Moon," and he said, what's the one with the marionettes? You just said it before.
Puppet Master.
Puppet Master. I'm like, oh, fuck, I used to watch those all the time. I'm like, oh, no, Full Moon's the one with the alien thing, Oblivion. And then I went through, I'm like, I used to watch, like, I've seen a dozen
Yeah.
of these. And then it kind of went together. I'm like, and then I had to go back in my head and realize that lady is exponentially better than
Yeah.
anybody else in a fucking Full Moon Entertainment thing.
Like so many of them, yeah.
Yeah, which is crazy. But yeah, so she shows up and is the peacemaker in the apartment building. It turns out she's like a police something.
Well, they think she's a cop, and she's like, no, I just am a consultant for the police.
Consultant, that's
on
the
like
word.
cult-related cases or something like that.
Yeah.
Even though later in the movie it makes it sound like she's a detective.
It's an odd relationship she has with that the kind of Italian character actor that's
Yeah.
in every movie ever. Is he the guy from Goonies, or does he just look
No,
exactly
no,
like
you're
him?
thinking of Robert Davi.
Okay,
This
yeah.
guy's name is Mamma Mia Jefferson.
But motherfucker,
Yeah.
what's his name?
I don't know. I made it up. And
Okay.
I just like how I couldn't come up with an Italian last name, so I just said Jefferson.
Well, that's the thing, is that actually would make sense. But yeah, he looks like him, so he's the cut rate version of that. But so this is the part I want to talk about. His speech, and I was so I should have pulled it.
What, Jeffrey Combs is?
Jeffrey Combs, when he's giving he's at the podium giving a talk on like
Oh, well, that's a little bit later.
whatever. Let me just talk
Yeah.
about it now because you could go to, because this is the next note I have, is his talk is, hey, you know all that stuff that every single fucking person ever knows about the occult, even if you don't know the word occult, you know all this stuff.
Yeah.
Well, let me, the expert, tell you about it. And he says the most surface level shit. On the full moon, people act crazy.
Yeah.
It is dog shit.
Yes.
Like fucking the CW's Supernatural is like fucking quantum theory in comparison to this guy pushing a ball down a fucking ramp in first grade and going, "Behold the wonders of gravity."
Yes.
Like it is
Yeah.
terrible. I wish I had gotten. I was going to type out the whole thing or get the quote because it is
It's like
such shit.
lunatics comes from Luna, the moon.
Yeah. Oh god, that was the other line. It's so fucking
Yeah.
bad. Like usually they put at least a little bit of effort into it.
Yeah,
but no,
or
they
like
did
ancient
not.
Sumerian texts. Nope, they just went like, man, moon be crazy.
It's so
But
great.
the reason she goes to that, so after she has this interaction with the old couple, Doctor Strange has come out and is bemusedly watching this while wearing a gold bathrobe.
Oh yeah.
And then the old people go away, and she's like, "Oh, I've only seen you in this building a couple of times, and no one knows who the owner is or the landlord." Like very ham-handedly, just dropping those things in there. Sorry. And then he Men in Blacks her, where he's got this amulet and he presses a button on it, and she kind of what?
Well, yeah. Well, that doesn't make you forget, right? That just stops.
It just freezes
time.
you
Okay.
in time.
Because that first one,
at first it made it seem like she forgot that he was even there.
Yeah.
But it's more useful. Like, I'm done talking to you right now. Like, I would love to have one of those.
What's great about that? Oh, you pushed the fucking button, didn't you?
You know what? I've left. I'm sorry.
Yeah. That's not going to work on a podcast. I thought that was a funny bit, but like that would we have to leave seconds there. No, so what I love about that is he explained later, but it's like I forget what the word he uses, but he's like feel for the button and push it.
Yeah, feel for there's a stud on the side of the medallion. Press it because no one would ever find it.
But what a magical! This guy is the sorcerer supreme. He's from another fucking world of magic.
Yeah.
He can heal people with his hands. And how do you stop time? Hey, push the button on the side of the round
thing. It's like a stopwatch.
This woman has the power of a fucking god in her hand and is operated by a tiny stud.
Yeah.
Oh,
Makes
God.
you think about technology.
Yeah, yes. iPads, man. I don't know.
But then he goes back inside to his lair, and he's watching TV like Ozymandias. Like, he's just got 9 different screens that are playing different things.
Yeah, and he's looking for signs of the death head, right?
Yeah, because like these certain things are going to be stolen from these certain areas at a certain time.
Yeah.
So rather than prevent them, he's just making sure that they're happening, and then he marks it on a giant map that he has. And then he's like, yep, this sounds like the prediction's right. Cabal's coming out. You know what I should do is I should go check on the jail where I left him. And so he goes off to he does some spell, opens up a portal, and goes to the spell, which is just a castle on a rock somewhere. And that's where we get this utterly pointless scene where you are introduced to Gunnar, the warden of this place, played by the captain from Cabin Boy, Rich Brinkley.
Yeah. I think what you're missing here is what this movie is establishing is how much his Confederates are willing to give up to hold back the death threats. He gave his very eyes never to be returned.
Yes.
His sight, very sight taken away from him until it gets cured later.
But that
scene makes no fucking sense.
No, but that was kind of cool. I did like the idea that Cabal, when he escaped, he just melted that guy's eyes out of his head.
Yeah,
I'm not going to kill you. I'm just going to melt your eyeballs.
No, I really enjoyed that. And I just wish the scene was useful.
Because all he does is he goes there and he finds this out.
No, but what did he find out?
That Cabal, it was confirmed that Cabal had indeed escaped.
Why is he not checking on him?
Because the gunner's there. You got to have faith in your employees. Otherwise, what's the point?
But why would...
Why
Okay,
do the
so
job
then
yourself?
why are you watching TV? So if he has faith in... Sorry, I'm not... This is the one thing that actually... Like, this whole movie, like, as dumb as it is, actually structurally held together for me, except for that one part where it's... No, my whole life is based... Not my whole life, but a lot of my life is based on watching a bunch of TVs to make sure that...
Well, it sounds like... the way I took it was like... It sounded like the monitor was like, yeah, this prophecy thing is going to happen. And so the signs of the prophecy are there. But he's just going to... Yeah, it seemed like he should go back there earlier and be like, yeah, is this... But maybe he was already out by that point.
Actually, what... Doctor Strange, the actual Doctor Strange in the comic books, has the Eye of Agamotto, this eye on his chest. Mm-hmm. In later, I think, retcon to be one of the Infinity Stones. What he should have, Dr. Mordrid, is some kind of friend to check in on the death's head. Like, let's say he knew some kind of... I know that sounds stupid. Cosmic eyes? Like 2 floating eyes somewhere in the cosmos. Like, if only he knew 2 eyes that could be floating around. Let's say, no, this is me spitballing here, that could look at the bad guy while he's chained up there. And then, you know how he can, like, talk to Dr. Mordrid at his whim? Tell him when he escapes.
Does your boss do your job for you?
No, but I think my boss would say, like, let's say my job. So I work at a print shop. Let's say that one of the printers, they said, hey, Alex, there's a chance that the Konica printer is going to come to life and murder everyone around you in order to bring on the apocalypse. Mm-hmm. Keep an eye out for it. Of course, I'll keep an eye out for it. Now, there's a lot of other people there, including like cameras that can see the whole place. Mm-hmm. My boss wouldn't turn the fucking camera off when the Konica comes to life. Also, if the Kanaka came to life, I don't care if it's my job. I'm pretty sure to go, hey, you know what I should do? Is not have the Kanaka murder the entire shop. I should warn Alex about it so he can fight the Kanaka using his yellow hand powers.
But in your scenario, your boss exists on the same plane as you. Whereas, who knows where the monitor's at? Or how the monitor even has access to getting into this.
Well, it's on the right of the Kanaka, because that's actually where we do all the workflow to do the printing.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, my mistake. That's sorry. We're doing a little shop talk.
Yeah.
Here.
The number one printing podcast.
Yeah. Oh, maybe we should start a printing podcast.
Sure, I clearly know so much about it.
Yes. Hey, John, stapling? Oh, boy, isn't that a whole thing? Let's talk for
You
another...
know what? I hate margins.
Yeah, let's talk for another 59 minutes, 30 seconds.
So yeah, there's also indication that there's some horrible things being kept there as well, some awful demons, and that's why Gunnar is there as well, to protect them. Oh,
Yeah.
one guy with a gun, that makes sense.
Well, it's like a laser spirit gun,
Yeah,
maybe?
well, you find that out later, which was hilarious.
Yeah.
It looks like a shotgun, and then later it's...
Well, he actually loads like shotgun shells, and it makes that clicky shotgun noise.
Yeah,
and then it
that's
shoots.
how lasers
Well, also,
work.
That like hatch that holds all the demons in is very insecure.
Extremely. And like later when he's shooting at it, I thought he was like sealing it up. I don't know, he's just shooting at it.
Yeah, and he didn't. It seems to be like something else shut the door. Was
Yeah,
it Dr.
no, it doesn't, because that's the whole joke, because he thinks that he did it.
But what shut the door? Was that Dr. Mordrid?
It's basically, I think, yeah, basically Dr. Mordrid stopping the guy mid-spell made the demons go like, oh, I guess we're not.
Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. It was just weird that stopping a guy mid spell causes weird, different colored lasers to shoot out.
You were mentioning earlier that you liked the magic, and I don't know if you were being facetious about that, but I do kind of like the magic in this movie.
Yeah, his battles with Larry Bird back in the 80s
Were great, yeah, that video game. But the
That's
thing,
video game?
well, it's Michael Jordan versus Larry Bird, not magic.
No, but Magic Johnson and Larry Bird were famous rivals in the 80s in real life.
That's in a video game that I made up. That I got the name wrong on.
I mean, rarely do I say this, but fucking nerd. I'm the sporto in this room.
Yeah, I played Hoops. That was not based on any the video game.
Gene
Hoops.
Hackman.
Yes, no, that's the Hoosiers.
Oh,
But the magic, like when he's getting ready to fight Cabal and he starts just jamming these crystal knives into his stomach.
yeah.
Like it's not like he just kind of goes like he's committing Harry Carry and then the knives kind of flash and absorb, but it doesn't look pleasant. And then when Cabal just shows up, he force projects himself.
Yeah.
Where'd you get that idea, Ryan Johnson? But he force projects himself to gloat about how he's escaped. And Dr. Ward like shoots something at him. And he's like, oh, the crystals of blah, blah, bleep. You're going to need more than that to stop me. But I liked that because they spent a lot of time with him doing that. And I just like that. Oh, that's how he shoots the laser out of his hand, is that he has stabbed a bunch of crystals into his body.
No, it's cool. Yeah, and when I say I like the magic, is that part was cool, but also like it's not. This movie could have easily devolved into bad guy shoots red hand magic.
Yeah,
kid
exactly.
Shoots yellow, and although that's part of it, it's not as easy as that.
Yeah, it does have that kind of. I was thinking about Dark Song, in that sort of the sacrifice and the banality of some of the magic. That it is just like these guys are these sorcerers, but it's still like he's using some magic. Like when he first finds out that Cabal, this whole Cabal thing might be happening, he like opens up this scroll and does all this stuff, and puts like a sextant on it or something, and then just goes, "Oh yeah, okay." Like he basically like gleaned no more, not a ton of information about it, but his magic was essentially like looking something up online.
Oh yeah,
and I did like that. That's part of it's just research and that kind of boring stuff about it.
yeah. I did in this. Oh boy, this. I'm saying this many episodes in. This might be the nerdiest thing I've ever said. The proper use of scrolls, because that's how you read scrolls, is slowly unfurling and rolling into another one, like the way he does it. It's not you unroll the whole thing and read it. It's something that bothers me.
If you want to make a proclamation, you do that.
Yeah, but that's just not how like scrolls worked.
Yeah.
And he did it like, I mean, it's not 100% properly, but it was like a lot closer than anything. And it was one of those like, as a classicist, I like this. As somebody that can't pronounce the word that he's pretending to be, I like that.
As a classic man.
John, here's something I've been wanting to tell you since episode 1. It's a real honor, babe. Like meeting Jagger backstage.
Oh, yes.
Because the fucking metal people in this movie
are
I don't think delightful is a good enough word.
There's something else. Well, they're also, like, when they cut to them, so these are apparently Cabal's thrall, the Cabal throw.
They're also, I believe, later taken down by the citizens on patrol.
They absolutely, well, he is.
They are very much the bad guys from a fucking Police Academy movie.
Yeah, because she's just got
I'm
these
40 million years old.
she's got these candles and she's basically doing some sort of burlesque act with them in this destroyed church where they're trying to summon Cabal?
No, I think...
Or this is where they're going to meet him.
I think Cabal told them to meet them there.
Well, because when he shows up, he's like, oh, this was a pretty good idea to do that here. But maybe I just misunderstood him.
No, because I think maybe they just fucked up, because I think he says he told us to meet him here or something along those lines. Could be,
and maybe I just misheard it, where he's like, yeah, see how this place sucks? We're going to do that to the whole world.
Yeah, this movie's kind of, I actually did enjoy a lot of it, but like strict attention can't be paid. So there's a little
it does not matter.
And
it's
I
fine.
at least I did write down it's a real honor, babe. Like meeting Jagger backstage is
punks.
Yeah.
And he kind of is like, hey, thanks for meeting me here. You guys are gross punks, but you're my minions.
Yeah.
And then, hey, did you steal that stuff from me? Yeah, they did. That's good. Then he seduces the lady and sucks out her... Oh, no, he exsanguinates her, doesn't he? Like, doesn't he remove all her blood?
I remember her boobs. I don't remember what happened.
Because he touches... They seem like it's going to be a love scene, and then, like, he touches her head, and something glows. I think he, like, pulled out all her blood. My other favorite part is when he has... Dr. Mordrid has come back, and Samantha thinks that, like, was going to go check on him for some reason. They've started chatting, whatever. But she's going to go check on him, touches his doorknob. It's hot, because whatever magic he was doing in there, which just set his books on fire, which he does not seem concerned about when he portals away to visit the jail planet. She thinks there's a fire, calls the fire department. Fire department shows up. They're about to hack down the door, and Jeffrey Combs just catches the axe with his one hand. That was very badass.
No, it's fun. I also like the shitty New York fireman being like, it's a felony.
It's a cop, because she.
Oh, it's a cop. Who cares?
She's like, don't I know you? She's like, yeah, I'm Samantha so and so. I work down at the precinct too. He's like, yeah, all right, I'm writing you up because it's illegal to call in a fake fire alarm. All cops are bastards.
Yeah,
basically.
Either way, New York's bravest, New York's finest. Either way, hey, you didn't stop 9/11.
That's true. That's if you can take one thing away from Dr. Mordrid.
So speaking of horrible things about New York, New Jersey. Mm-hmm. So he gets arrested, Jeffrey Combs, and who cares? But they want to go somewhere, and here's the line: "We can drive, but that place is almost in fucking Jersey." Remember the 80s where going to Jersey was like a punchline? And not to say, like, I grew up in New Jersey. It's a fucking garbage place. But I kind of forgot that was like a running joke.
Oh, yeah.
Of like, it was like in the 50s, the dumb joke was like, an Italian walks into a bar, and then the Italians turned into like a Polish person walks into a bar. Like the running joke in America is, "Hey, go to Jersey."
Yeah, well, I think it's so much of late night TV, like David Letterman and whatever, like being out of New York, and New Yorkers having this joke about Jersey, and so you're like, ha ha ha! I am cultured too. I too hate the New Jersey.
Yes. So I feel like I was brutalized and beaten as a child.
That's
because
true.
People made fun of the state I grew up in and immediately left.
Yes. Before he gets arrested, though, they have a nice little hangout in his lair. He invites her in. They have some nice little.
Oh yeah. She meets Poe Dameron.
She meets his raven, and he's his 9 televisions playing at once, and that's fine. That's a thing we all do.
Yeah, she doesn't question that.
No, and the thing is, you can hear them in the background.
Yeah,
they didn't just mute the sound. You can still hear them, so it's going on.
Yeah,
no one's saying anything about it.
Also, she doesn't question the giant wall Mappus Mundi. With flags stuck in it, which I feel like I'm not saying that's sinister looking.
No, but I
definitely would ask.
I would ask about the flags, having okay, that's a nice. You got a big map there. That's cool. Oh, are these places you're going? What is this?
This is a running thing in every movie where there's an immortal or any kind of thing like that, where you go, 100 years ago, New York must have been great. Oh, it was great.
Yeah.
Oops. But that's not even oops moment.
Yeah.
You could just have a strong opinion. Yeah. That's not the person you're talking to isn't going to go, hey, wait a second, are you an immortal sorcerer? like if you said...
But that would be pretty great if he has to cover up, so he decides to get really racist about it.
Oh, don't get start about it. We used to have neighborhoods for them, and now all of a sudden...
Yeah. And then when it comes down to like trying to save the world, no one wants to help him because they just think he's hugely racist.
But I hate that.
No, I'm a wizard. Yeah, we all know.
Who the fuck jumps to like? All right, so if we were talking about Lewis and Clark times, and you're like, it was simpler back then. Yeah, it was. You wouldn't go, Alex. Are you 150 years old? No, of course not. It's a common.
I suppose that's how you said it. If you just like looked off in the distance and you're like, yeah, it was. Then that would be I wouldn't jump to you're a sorcerer, but I'd have some questions.
But I don't think no, you wouldn't. Even if some brand new person in your life you met, at no point would your thought process be,
it's less immortal, more the wizard. I would jump to before immortal.
I mean, I ask everybody if they're a wizard.
Yeah, and I think that's reasonable.
Yeah, well, I mean, given my lifestyle.
That makes sense.
In this economy.
One thing about this movie that I have brought up now is that it is the whole thing is just almost entirely done with reverse shot close-ups.
Yes.
Any conversation is just, you're talking, then I'm talking, then you're talking. Like, it's almost like they had one iPhone camera that they were just like handing back and forth to film each other. That's not a good way to shoot dialogue.
Yeah, it's very boring. I think they had one camera movement. I don't remember what it was, but I remember the camera moved at one point. I'm like, whoa, what's happening? I'm very confused. Yeah. Oh my God, the locomotive is coming right at me. This movie magic it's messing me up. So him getting arrested.
Because she tells the cop about it. And then...
Well, no, because, they found... What did they find? They found, like, some kind of satanic murder site or something like that.
Yeah, and she has noticed his amulet and, like, all his old books. And he's like, hey, if you want to do some research, come look at my library. And then Cabal has killed... I think it was the punk lady.
Yeah, I think you're
killed
right.
that there's this symbol on her head. And she's like, wait a minute, I've seen that symbol. This guy you should go see my buddy, Dr. Mordrid. He could probably help you out with that symbol. And then they just go and arrest him instead. When he is arrested and he's being held in prison, the cops, he's just being held in an interrogation room. The cops leave. Samantha comes in and he just escapes from the handcuffs they have him in.
Yeah.
And says that's kindergarten stuff.
He pronounces kindergarten.
Yeah, and that made me very happy. It has nothing to do with the movie other than just like kindergarten.
Well, I wonder if
sound like an old timey prospect.
I wonder if 1890 New York, that's the way they did, because that's the way they pronounced it back then.
Did they?
It's like Forever on Fox, starring that guy from the shitty Fantastic Four movie. Did you ever watch that show?
No, which one?
It's
more just which shitty Fantastic Four movie.
There was two of them. That one. They made a Fantastic Four movie, then gave the
one
sequel.
With Michael Chiklis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So Mr. Fantastic in that. They're on Fox or whatever. There was a show called Forever where it's this guy that owns like a antique curio shop, but he's actually immortal.
Oh,
The only thing I remember about it is every time he dies, he wakes up in the water nearby. That's like the thing. And then I think Judd Hirsch was the one guy that knew about him. But his whole thing is like he like remembers all this 1890s stuff, but he's a doctor, and he's like sometimes it's like old time. It's dumb shit. But anyway, I'm sure that back then he pronounced it kindergarten. But I think that'd be the downside of being an immortal is trying to remember how to fucking pronounce stuff.
Right. It's like, do we not say that anymore?
Not even like the word. Like I mean, sometimes it's like heaven forfend, but like other times like no, that's the way it's pronounced. Like no, that's gone now.
Yeah. We don't. Yeah. That's that word doesn't mean that anymore. But so Dr. Mordrid now has to reveal, he's in such a predicament that he has to reveal his true nature to Samantha and let him know that he's not an author writing a book about Cabal. He's not a Cabalologist. He's actually a wizard. And to convince her, he puts her in a trance.
Okay. I hate this so much. And it's not just this movie's fault. This happens every time somebody has to prove something like with the supernatural. Uh-huh. Make a laser come out of your hand. You don't need any backstory, any fucking... Because he shows her his childhood in her brain.
Yeah.
No. Take one of those crystal knives that you pulled from the very ether itself and then shove it into your body in front of her.
Yeah.
That would be like... John, there is close to 0% chance you could ever convince me that you have supernatural powers. However, if you right now reached into the air above your shoulder, pulled out an ethereal crysknife, and shoved it into your chest, and then transmuted that energy into a laser and shot it at my door,
That's what
that would bump it to like 15% chance I would believe you.
Well, what?
However, if you did motions as if you're hypnotizing me, and then I saw scenes from your childhood, I would think you're a fucking creepy weirdo.
Yeah. Well, what ultimately convinces her is when he drops a napkin. Because he's holding, I don't know if this is part of the hypnosis thing, but he's holding some kerchief. He kind of has it up, and then like it just snaps away out of his hands.
Oh, that kerchief was so annoying.
And then, then she's like, oh, I get it now. You dropped a napkin.
Now I'm going to bring up Harry Potter here, but on the movies, which I hate. But the one thing they did well in the movies. Did you see the last ones?
Yes, I don't remember.
Okay, so there's one part where they're telling the story of the Deathly Hallows, and it becomes a
cartoon
thing.
Yeah.
Him holding up a napkin and then projected on the napkin the thing he's talking about would be so much better.
Yeah.
And that's not an expensive special effect. They could literally just like rear projector green or like, I don't know, like hold up a bit of green cloth. I think that's easy to do. And then just like double projection, whatever they have. They've had that technology since fucking King Kong.
Yeah.
Like that would be, but for some reason he just literally just had a napkin and then they did like a cut to his past.
Yeah.
What? It's almost like they set up a special effect and went,
it seems like it's going to be hard.
Or we could just copy and then paste.
Yeah.
And then continue the scene and just the napkin will fall. Yeah, that's better. We should definitely do that.
The napkin thing.
Yeah.
So then she helps him escape, as we mentioned earlier, with the freezing time thing. And I think they kill a guy in the process. Because there's this running joke with the lab guy that he's on some like liquid diet.
Yes.
And when she gets he's been trying to scrape the amulet, but can't.
I think this is like a slim, fast joke.
Yeah.
Given the time that this happened. Yeah.
But he's chugging. He's like got the amulet. She's like, oh, I'm supposed to. The detective told me I need to come look at it. She's like, oh, okay. Hands it to her. Starts drinking this stuff. She freezes time. And when you're frozen in time, you yourself are just frozen. Time itself doesn't freeze. You are just frozen. Time keeps going. So he's just like, the stuff's just spilling all over him. I'm like, well, it's got to just be going right down his throat.
Well, let me argue this. If you're drinking, you tend to close the glottal flap to protect liquids from going into your lungs.
Yeah.
So I think he would just be basically doing like a keg stand.
He's just chugging it.
Yeah. He would just be doing that thing where you open your throat. Because I think once you've taken one sip, you've got like that lung flap closed.
Right.
And I don't know if it's the glottal flap. I forget what it's called. But like that thing that protects your airway.
I think it is the epiglottis.
Yeah, or something like that. But so I think once he starts pouring it back. However, I think this guy is a buffoon because a lot more of that was falling down his front than should have.
Yeah, I think he just doesn't know how to drink.
I guess that's funny and they're trying to play
it's
for
great.
a laugh.
Yeah, the John Carroll Lynch drowning himself in Slim Fast is great.
I mean, if you think about it, kind of is.
Right.
Like because it'd be like, hey, oh, what the irony? I'm trying to lose weight to be more healthy, but the very thing that tried to make me be healthy killed me.
Looks like the only thing I lost was 21 grams. The weight of the human soul.
Yeah, he forces her to see them growing up together, and it turns out that that's his evil brother.
Yep, Cabal.
Which, I mean, it's a trope, but I gotta tell you, didn't see it coming.
Yeah.
I mean, not also doesn't matter.
Yeah, I guess that was like it was like a.
It was more that they came from Zeist, and anytime someone came from Zeist, the quickening rehab. Oh, sorry, Highlander 2 again. My mistake.
Yeah.
I've been. Since I mentioned the first time, I've been sitting here trying to remember the name of the planet, and the only reason I said that right there was because I remember the planet.
That's
Zeist.
That's the most thought anyone has ever put into Highlander 2.
I mean, more than the people that made it, wrote it, edited it, put out the special edition, put out the other special edition, and then re-edited it for the other special edition.
Yep.
Because John, not to give it away, but I am immortal, and I have inside me blood of kings. Watch this handkerchief. I will tell you the entire story.
Now I'm convinced.
Yeah. My name is Conor MacLeod from the Clan MacLeod. I made out his blade. I'm going to say that every episode.
You have to stop the Kurgan.
God, that's fucking terrible. We should watch the Highlander.
Yeah. The so Cabal is starting his evil plan, and some of it involves making a invulnerability potion for Kevin. I don't know the guy's name. I think
Kevin. I think Kevin's right.
But when he's making it, he's got this big stone pestle and a bone that he's like mixing the potion in. I think they put the mic right in there because it is so much louder than anything else in the scene. And he makes this like for 12 hours, he says, you will not be hurt by the weapons of mankind. And sends Kevin on his way, which is to go party behind the police station. He's just standing behind the police station, just singing a song to himself and hopping up and down. And
well, no, it's not party. I think what he's trying to do is, I think he's trying to goad the cops so they'll shoot him. Yeah,
but I just like that he does that
fair.
by just singing
Yeah.
his own song and jumping up and down. And then burns down a cop car, gets arrested to try to stop Dr. Mordrid. In the process, gets shot, but it doesn't matter because he's invincible. And then that doesn't matter because Dr. Mordrid escapes anyway.
What's annoying about that, though, is because they go back inside and the guy's like, this guy's all fucked up like the cop that got shot. At no point does he bring up to his superior officer, oh, yeah, also, I put a bullet in him and it didn't work.
Yeah, and it didn't work.
That should show up during
it's
the
burying
briefing.
the lead.
Yeah. Caliban. God damn it, I was wrong. It's not Cabal, it's Caliban.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm really annoyed now. Cut that part out.
I will.
This is going to be a 10-minute show. Oh, fucking A, where's Cabal? Oh, that's so annoyed. Caliban.
I feel like
I had this feeling that was wrong, and I had to look it up. Ugh, I'm an idiot.
it's okay. I say wrong things never. But
No, but I don't say wrong things. You're the wrong one.
You're
the funny wrong one.
Guess what's staying in now?
Oh, God.
Well, what I like, so she helps him escape, and they're on their way out, and 'cause they've frozen time again.
Well, okay, wait, sorry. Hold that point. This is an internal logic problem here. He needs her to get him the amulet for reasons. Even though he has the power to get out of his handcuffs and perform sorcery, so he could easily get the amulet. But let's just leave that on the side.
But it seems like the amulet is his
Fine.
big thing.
No, but I'm just saying that he could have gotten it readily. Fine.
Yeah.
She's got to get it for him. The second that amulet touches his hand, why the fuck are you involving this mortal in your deal?
Right, yeah.
It's one thing because, and I'm not like, I'm glad there wasn't a sex scene because I don't want to watch Jeffrey Combs make out. Mm-hmm. As much as I kind of thought he was a little foxy in this, it's going to be awkward.
Mm-hmm. So in this movie, it would be awkward.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So they didn't establish them as having like any kind of like sexual relationship or even like kind of any kind of deep relationship. Why not just she hands him the amulet and then just okay, cool, you hang out here because her leaving with him threatens her job.
Yeah.
Maybe gonna get killed, and she offers nothing to help him.
But she does end up being a help. But this isn't that's more of a surprise thing.
Yeah.
But what I like, so when they're leaving,
Also, a locked door would have helped as well.
that's also very true. But who can compete with that? As they're leaving,
Keys? I think keys is the answer to go for here.
well, I mean, as a human being, like, your abilities, you can't be as good as a locked door.
Key and Peele?
Yes, Key and Peele. All right, I forgot it. Damn,
Yeah.
you've got me at every turn.
The upcoming HBO series Lock and Key.
Are they making that?
I think it's on Netflix. Yeah.
Huh. That could be good or
Nah,
most likely to be horrible. Because the comics are
very
fun.
sure it's going to be terrible. Yeah, the comics are like.
Yeah. But as they're leaving, a cop recognizes him and like tries to stop him when they're outside of the precinct. Cop pulls a gun on him, and Jeffrey Combs uses her as a human shield and pulls out a gun. Our hero, ladies and gentlemen, uses her. Then, because he does that, then he makes the cop's gun hot, and the cop has to drop it.
Yes.
He could have just done that.
Yes.
But instead, he just has to threaten this woman's life playfully.
Well, he didn't, though, because it's like sorcerer hologram.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really a gun.
Yeah, but I'd still be pissed if someone you used me as a human shield.
Also, so here's a little side fun note. His brother, his evil brother,
Caliban?
That's exactly what. Thank you for saying that because I forgot the name again.
Cabal.
No, I know. No, I remembered Cabal. I wanted to say Caliban because I was so embarrassed that I got that wrong. I'm honestly embarrassed about that. Can readily turn a mortal invincible against harm. Maybe like carry around a bottle of that there, Dr. Mordred.
Yeah. Well,
you don't have to have like the foxy curly haired lady thrown in front of you as a
But then
shield.
he would have had to have her get the amulet and the bottle of goo.
No, I mean like he could just like have it on him. Like
But if he was arrested, they would have taken it. They're not going to let you carry around a bottle of goo in the police station.
the last time I was arrested, they let me keep my bottle of goo. I mean, it didn't make me.
Those are your testicles.
Yeah, no, the other bottle of goo, my prostate. Oh, they checked it though. They don't call it the male G spot for nothing, John.
But yeah, so they escape to a park, and then they need to get the last remaining piece the
Sorcerer's Stone.
The
Yeah.
Sorcerer's Stone, but it's all the way on the other side of
It's
town.
the Philosopher's Stone in the English edition.
Sorry. And
Sweet J.K. Rowling joke.
but,
Because that was the original title in England.
Yes.
And they thought Americans wouldn't understand, so they changed it to
and
Sorcerer's
we clearly
Stone.
don't.
Yeah.
But I just like that the superhero's main concern is driving there.
That line made me laugh a lot. He's like, let's take 40 minutes in this traffic.
Well, and she says like, well, couldn't you just like fly there?
Oh my God. It is such a setup for him turning into a bird thing.
Yeah.
They set up that he's got a bird familiar
Uh-huh.
earlier in this. You know, Edgar, you might remember him. You know, he's named after Edgar Winter from the Winter Band. Mm-hmm. Edgar, you're like, oh, so this is going to be it. He's going to be carried by either Edgar, giant bird, Gandalf style,
Mm-hmm.
or he turns into a bird. No, his idea is, I'm going to take a nap. I'm going to...
He says, you know what? Fuck this.
Yeah.
I'm going to go take a nap.
It's a nice day out. I'm going to lay down in Central
Yeah.
Park. I'm going to take a nap. You, lady with no gun, no way to stop sorcerers, protect my body.
Guard my body.
That's, because again, literally, a closet would have been more effective.
Yep.
Because what is she going to do if a wizard shows up?
You know, it's unlikely a wizard's going to show up, though. I think he feels pretty confident. in
What's
that.
he going to do with someone with what's she going to do if somebody with a gun shows up? A knife, a baseball bat, a baton.
Yeah, I mean, it was the daytime.
It was New York in the late 80s.
Yeah.
Shit was hectic.
He's-
Times Square wasn't Disneyfied yet, man.
But he's
it
thinking
was
it's the
porno
1800s.
theaters. It was Taxi Driver.
What if a porno theater shows up?
What
What's
if
he
a
going to
porno
do then?
theater? Yeah, he'll get stuck to the floor is what's going to happen. He's going to lay down and get stuck to the floor with delicious movie theater snacks and
Pee Wee Herman,
the
yeah.
other stuff. Yeah.
The
Jism. Yeah.
Oh, it's Dr. Jism.
Yes.
Best kind of soda.
From the prostate. Milked in jail earlier. Goo tube. You're the one that came up with goo tube. Don't fucking at me for that.
Wait, goo tube?
Didn't you say goo tube before?
Oh, bottle of goo.
Bottle. Oh, whatever.
Yeah.
Sorry, I punched it up for you.
No, you made it worse.
Yeah.
More evocative, though.
GooTube.com.
Yeah. Actually, I bet there's a website called GooTube.
I like this computer, so I'm not going to check. But yes, I'm sure you're right.
GooTube.ru.
It's all Andrew Dice Clay jokes.
Goo. But so he astral projects to the museum where Cabal, they're closed down the museum, and Cabal's like, yeah, I don't care, and hangs out anyway, and starts gets the Philosopher's Stone, which is actually just like a giant bowl, basically.
Yeah.
And starts concocting his spells, and then Jeffrey Combs shows up and is like, hey, don't do what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm going to shoot you with yellow magic.
Yeah. And he's like, you're not even here. You can't do anything. He's like, aha, I can cast a spell.
Wait. You have to slow it down here. Because first, they establish that there is a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
A skeleton.
Skeleton of a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Because they're in the
Museum.
Cosmopolitan Museum. Because they can't, I guess they didn't have rights to say the Metropolitan Museum.
Yeah, it's the museum owned by Cosmo.
Yeah. The Cosmopolitan Museum. There's a T-Rex skeleton and a Stegosaurus skeleton.
Woolly mammoth.
Oh, you're right. It's a woolly mammoth.
Yeah.
My bad. Yeah. You're totally right. I was just picturing the little stabby bits on that. Yeah, it's a woolly mammoth. But I think the reason I thought Stegosaurus is why is there a woolly mammoth next to a T-Rex?
Yeah.
That's
Hey,
jumping.
you go to war with the bones you got.
I mean, that's why you went to the cut rate fucking Cosmopolitan Museum,
Right,
not the
yeah.
Natural History Museum. But
Just imagining a Cosmo museum like the 10 Ways to Please Your Man wing.
yeah, what's the name of the bad guy?
Cabal.
No, the real bad guy.
Caliban.
Caliban. So Caliban brings the T-Rex to life and it makes him eat the security guard.
Yes.
And it is Harryhausenrific.
It is, yeah. It is Roger Cormany,
so
Burt I.
much
Gordon.
fun.
Yeah.
I was so glad it happened. And then fucking Jeffrey Combs and he realized, yeah, you're right. I can't hurt you, but that woolly mammoth can.
Yeah, so he conjures up the woolly mammoth.
And then the woolly mammoth with no build-up. There is more build-up to that dog argument in the second scene of the movie. And the woman just stabs the bad guy through the gut.
Yeah.
And that's how the bad guy dies.
And that's how the bad guy dies.
It is fucking incredible.
Yeah.
How they spent more time in that noise complaint early in the film than they did dispatching the main villain.
Yeah.
whose plan is still slightly confusing to me.
Well, it seemed like he was going to,
He's going to bring demons to the Earth.
yeah, but he was in control of the demons, so he's going to be in control of the Earth. The demons were going to screw everything up. But he's
Yeah,
like, I
okay.
control the demons, so everyone worship me.
Yeah, I mean, I guess this might be, hey, late stage capitalism under dumpster Trumpster fire.
Got him.
But like, if you can just steal lots of, it's platinum, by the way,
Oh,
not
yes.
silver. If you can steal lots of platinum, and you can steal lots of radioactive stuff, you could readily control a major government with that amount of money. Like
That's
this is not a good plan.
But this isn't, what you're talking about is like political power, and that's not what he's interested in. He's interested in he sees diamonds, he's like, these pathetic earth elements.
Yeah.
They're beyond our petty realm.
But what's he gonna do once he controls the Earth? Like just not put in
They're going to be his slaves.
like a system of government? But you need a system of government for slavery.
It's magic.
But so why do you need? Okay, I mean, I guess.
Yeah, I
I
don't
just feel like you're making a lot of extra steps.
Yeah, but it's basically that they're so far beyond you, it just doesn't really matter. It's like trying to explain refrigeration to a dog. Like, it's just not.
I've done that
Gonna
before. Actually, it's remarkably easy.
And the dogs appreciate it and they understand it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I wish someone would have done that with
Well, it was
me.
a tiny dog, so when I explained it, I'm like, you understand? I was like, yep. Sorry. Okay, so, yeah. Anyway, the movie ends. We missed one of my favorite special effects bits in this because I think they did the math and went, oh, no, we have a little bit more money. The world's most powerful Molotov cocktail, where he's got a beer bottle full of liquor, lights it on fire, throws it in a car, and he throws it in the back seat of a car. And it's this giant fucking explosion where it would have been, the back seat would have slowly burned for a while. It is this massive blow up. And
It is insanely powerful.
I genuinely think they were $3,000 under budget. We need to spend it all. We can't afford the blue screen for the handkerchief. So what can we do? Okay. The other kerchief shot, the kerchief in the bottle.
That we can do. I also left out the part where Cabal, just because, destroys the vial of whatever gunk made Kevin immortal or invincible. And he's like,
well, I think he was done with Kevin.
Yeah, but just, you didn't, why? It seemed very arbitrary. These
yeah. I mean, frankly, the giving him immortality is a little arbitrary too.
Yeah, none of it made sense, but he's like, oh, you're done now.
Now that I think about it, he said it only lasts 12 hours.
Yeah, so why did he even destroy it?
Yeah, I mean, he literally could have just saved that glass. Yeah. That was utterly pointless. He just destroyed his own property.
I think he's
for no
just
good
going
reason.
mad with power. Because, then Kevin shows up to try to kill Dr. Mordrid while he's having this flight of fancy.
Yeah.
And she sort of stops him. Not really, because then Dr. Mordrid wakes up and stops him and freezes him in time, and then she kicks him in the junk.
Oh, yeah, that was fun.
Woo! Yeah. I did that out loud when I saw it. I was like,
Yeah.
You go, girl.
Yeah, so I did that. I was like, yeah, girl, you sure kicked that guy in the junk.
Yeah.
That was good. And then, the monitor, so it says, good job, you say that you now have to go somewhere?
If you're frozen in time and you get kicked in the nuts,
Yes.
would it hurt? Does the pain catch up with you? Because the
Yeah, I
pain
think
happens
so.
outside of time.
Well,
Or you're outside of time.
I think the main brunt of the pain you don't feel, but getting hit.
There'd be some discomfort.
Well, I mean, getting hit in the balls hurts for a bunch of minutes in a row. So I don't think you get that first that
Yeah.
part, but you get that this is
the
that
dull
I
ache.
want to vomit.
Yeah.
That next 5 minutes, I think
Okay.
is definitely gonna.
So you have just sort of a ball hangover.
And I think you're gonna get it real bad because even subconsciously, you kind of close your legs a little bit to protect yourself. He can't move,
Right.
so it is unprotected, full force kick to the, if I may quote myself, ghoulies. So I feel like it's gonna hurt.
Okay.
But all right, so yeah, he goes on. Why the monitor says you have to go and
You're done here. We're good.
why?
Because Monitor's a jerk.
But no, but where is he going to?
Study some stuff. Back to the Zeiss or the realms of other places.
Oh, I just got myself more depressed that I remember the name of the planet from Highlander 2, and I didn't remember the fucking Shakespeare. I remembered the Highlander 2 thing, John, and I forgot Shakespeare.
Yeah, welcome to the 21st century.
Oh,
I'm
not even kidding. I'm actually like upset with myself. Like normally, like it's like I play this up for like a joke or whatever. I forgot. Look at me. Like I remembered the name of the planet.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about how bi-weekly you waste a lot of time watching Spawn and Dr. Mordrid? Because that's not going to make you feel any better.
Yeah, no, I have thought about that. But that at least other people get joy from.
Well, do they?
Well, Forrest.
I do.
Yeah. There's like 4 listeners that like us. Steph Quick likes us. But I don't think anybody's going to be like, they're not going to be like, oh, yay for Alex for fucking that up.
I'll be. Hooray.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's very true.
I
still do, but I don't understand where the modeler takes him. But anyway, so the modeler is like, you got to go to Poochie Planet to leave.
Come help me wipe.
But then he shows back up and he's like, okay, so can I go with you? No, you can't go where I'm going. Okay, sort of makes sense, except we don't know where he's going. And then he comes back and is like, hey, you want to come with me?
He comes back at Christmas. So he's been gone a little bit. Which he's established.
But what does that fucking mean?
He's been somewhere for maybe 5 minutes, because like he was saying when he was on the jail planet, he's like, I've already lost 2 days being here, and he wasn't there that long. So maybe he went and was like, Monitor, can my friend come too? And Monitor's like, okay, fine. So he comes back at Christmas, and he's like, guess what? Monitor said it was cool if you want to spend the night.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Yeah,
like a lot dumb.
Yeah, he needs a better union. His boss controls his life.
All right, so here's the question: why did this not get a sequel? Because this movie rules, and it should have had a sequel.
It needs Puppet Master. The needs of the Puppet Master outweigh the needs of the few or the one. Dr. Mordrid. I'm guessing they just, I don't know, more money went to other stupid projects they had.
Because what they should have done,
there's like 8,000 Puppet Masters.
Yeah, but this is where I'm running with. What they should have done is Avengers style, and they still can do this, is all of the Full Moon Entertainment get together and Full Moon assemble and become like whatever the Full Moon. So the weird lizard guy from Oblivion, the Doll Master.
I think they did.
Dr.
They did. I mean, they did various things like Doll Man versus Demonic Toys. They've had like crossovers, but I want to say there was some sort of like big event where they all got together.
Okay, see,
but I definitely know there's been crossovers.
I hope that happens.
Yeah.
Got anything else on this?
No, that's Dr. Mordrid.
Okay,
I'm good. It was it's not a great movie, but it was I enjoyed it more than I thought I would.
Yeah, no, it's totally like it was kind of fun. Like it was exactly what I thought it was going to be. If you're in the mood for some like low budge, like I mean, here's the and this is kind of we've talked about it on the show, well, more off air, but we have to mention it on the show that I'm a Marvel fan. I like their movies. Mm-hmm. I think this has more heart than a lot of the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Like this actually felt like they were going for something, and they did everything they can with them. Like for how much Marvel movies cost, they should be a shitload better.
Yes.
And I like any given Marvel movie I like better than this movie. Mm-hmm. But this movie like did more with what it had.
It's got
this
moxie,
movie, yeah,
baby.
exactly.
Yeah.
This movie's scrappy.
Yeah.
And it's I don't know if I'm recommending watching, but if you're in the mood for something along these lines, like, yeah, this is going to hit that spot.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so Dr. Mordrid is a delightful movie. John, it has come to my attention that we host a podcast about movies.
That's true.
Now, this podcast about movies happens once every 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. I wonder what we should have out in 2 weeks from now.
Well, I'll answer that question with a question. You remember the 80s?
But I don't believe number 7. Oh, sorry. I thought you were a listicle for a moment.
No.
Yes, I do remember the 80s, and I hear they're making a comeback.
But do you really remember the 80s? Like, do you remember the 80s in a way that you could list off a listicle of things that happened in the 80s and then make Steven Spielberg make a movie about it? Do you remember the 80s that well?
I feel like I'm ready to answer this question, but do I want to hit select or do I just want to hit start? I'm not going to hit select. Yes. You know what? I'm ready. Player one.
Excellent. Nicely done.
Yes, so we were going to watch the Steven Spielberg movie.
Adaptation of a book?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, it is.
Ernest Cline's book.
Ready Player One.
Ready Player One.
Is about shit from the 80s.
Yeah, it's about being in a VR world where everything is nostalgic. A lot like society today, huh? We'll get more into that and deeper insights. Although, how can you get deeper than that on the next episode?
I don't know. I just hope there's an upside down.
That's not in the 80s, so I don't understand that.
Really?
Is that Stranger Things?
Yeah,
I've never seen it.
Oh, yeah, it's in the 80s.
Yeah.
I mean, Stranger Things is literally...
Oh, yeah, it literally takes place in the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not.
All it is like nostalgia. Here's a bit hard. Nostalgia.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Supposed to be good. I don't know. I've not seen it. But Ready Player One is also a movie that is supposed to be good. I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah, up, down, left, right. Be a star, John.
Yep.
All right, we'll see you next. Oh, no one's listening anymore. But Jaws Pod on Twitter. If more than 7 people start signing up, we'll start posting there.
You.
Yay!
Make it happen. Bye.